You keep waiting for the big moment, don't you? That huge change, that dramatic shift, that one decision or opportunity that's suddenly going to transform everything in your life. I get it. We're all drawn to the idea that success happens overnight, that motivation strikes like lightning, and you wake up a different person. But here's the truth you don't want to hear. It's not about intensity. It's about consistency. You don't need to change your life in a day. You need to change what you do every day. That's the real secret. You build a better life not by climbing a mountain in one leap, but by taking one small step every single morning, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. And the problem is, most people don't do that. Most people get fired up for a week, maybe 2, and then they stop. They fall into the trap of thinking motivation will save them. But motivation is unreliable. It's like a sugar high. It gives you a boost, but it crashes. What is reliable is habit. What's dependable is your ability to do something small every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Let me make this real for you. If you did just one push-up every day for a month, you'd start to feel stronger. If you drank 1 extra glass of water every day, you'd be more hydrated, your skin would improve, your energy would increase. If you read 5 pages of a book every morning, that's 150 pages in 30 days. That's a whole book. That's not magic. That's math. And it's possible. And it's possible. But you've got to do the thing. You've got to commit to the boring, the simple, the easy-to-ignore actions. I know what you're thinking. It sounds too small to matter, but that's where you're wrong. Those small things, they're not small, they're compound interest for your future. And here's the kicker. Once you start doing the small thing, you start building evidence that you can. You start proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who follows through. That identity shift, that's the real transformation. Because now you're not just someone who wants change. You're someone who creates change. And you did it through repetition, not revolution. Think about this. Brushing your teeth takes 2 minutes. If you didn't do it for a week, your mouth would feel disgusting. But you don't even think about whether or not to do it. It's automatic. What if your habits were like that? What if journaling every morning, or taking a 10-minute walk, or prepping your meals, or turning your phone off an hour before bed? What if those were just part of who you are? That's where the power lives. Consistency builds character, it builds discipline, and it builds trust with yourself. Every time you show up and do what you said you were going to do, even if it's tiny, you're casting a vote for the kind of life you want. And those votes, they add up. They shape your confidence. They build your resilience. They become your foundation when life throws you a curveball. So stop waiting for the right time. Stop chasing the big, flashy transformation. You don't need more information. You don't need another YouTube video or motivational post. You need to act. You need to pick one thing and do it today, and then tomorrow, and the next day. It's not about how big you go. It's about how long you stay in the game. Because at the end of the day, success doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you do consistently. And if you can wrap your head around that, if you can stop chasing motivation and start building momentum, 30 days from now, you won't just have new habits. You'll have a new identity, a new level of confidence, a new sense of control over your life. And the best part? It starts with something so small, you could do it before this speech is even over. So, what's it going to be? Pick the habit, start now. And don't stop. The way you start your day matters more than you think. Most people roll out of bed, grab their phones, scroll through social media, check emails, and before they've even brushed their teeth, their brain is already overwhelmed. They're reacting to life before they've even taken a breath for themselves. If that's how you start your day, you're not in control. You're in survival mode. You've handed the wheel over to everything outside of you before your feet even hit the floor. Here's the truth. Your morning is your anchor. It's your launch pad. It's your launch pad. It sets the tone for your focus, your mindset, your energy, and your ability to handle what's coming your way. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And your morning routine, that's your system. That's where your power starts. You don't need a perfect morning routine. You don't need to meditate for an hour or drink some fancy smoothie or hit the gym for 2 hours. You just need intentionality. You need to own your morning, even if it's just 10 minutes. You need to say to yourself, this is my time. This is where I decide what kind of day I'm going to have. When you take that time, when you claim that first part of your day for yourself, you are training your brain to lead instead of follow. You're saying, I come first, not your notifications, not your to-do list, not your problems. And when you start your day with intention, something powerful happens. Your brain stops operating in fight or flight mode. Instead of feeling like you're behind or already losing, you begin with clarity. You begin with focus. You begin with a win. That first small win builds momentum. It tells your brain, we're in charge today. We're not drifting, we're driving. Let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you just gave yourself the first 15 minutes of every day? No noise, no tech, just you. Think about it. What if you spent that time journaling or stretching or simply sitting in silence and thinking about your goal? They shift your focus from chaos to clarity, from reaction to creation. And you don't have to be a morning person. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. This is not about joining the 5 a.m. club unless that genuinely works for you. This is about taking ownership. Whatever time you wake up, create a moment just for you before the world starts pulling at you. Because the moment your eyes open, your brain is looking for direction. If you don't give it a plan, it will find one. In your inbox, in the news, in someone else's problems. And just like that, your day is no longer yours. One of the most powerful things I ever did was stop checking my phone first thing in the morning. That single habit shifted everything. I replaced it with a quick check-in with myself. Gratitude, intention, and a decision about how I wanted to show up that day. That small change created a ripple effect. I felt more focused. I stopped feeling behind all the time. I started showing up to my day like a leader instead of a firefighter. And here's the thing. You're not just starting your day, you're starting your life, one day at a time. Every morning is a new chance, a new beginning. You can't control everything that happens to you today, but you can control how you start it. And when you stack enough strong starts together, they change your life. They shape your identity. They tell your brain, this is who we are now. So stop leaving your mornings to chance. Stop handing over your peace, your focus, your power to a screen or a schedule or someone else's crisis. Reclaim your morning. Make it your space to breathe, to center, to direct your day with purpose. Because when you own your morning, you start to own your life. And that's where real transformation begins. Not in the chaos of the world, but in the quiet decision you make the moment you wake up. Success isn't built on one giant leap. It's built on small, seemingly insignificant wins that you stack up day after day. These micro wins might not look like much in the moment, but they are powerful. They're the building blocks of your confidence, your mindset, your momentum. You want to change your life in 30 days? Start winning tiny battles every single day. That's where the real transformation begins. Here's the thing. We're obsessed with big wins. We wait for the big break, the perfect opportunity, the dramatic turnaround. We think success means hitting home runs, crushing huge goals, or getting massive recognition. But that's not how it works. In real life, success is quiet. It looks like waking up early when you don't feel like it. It looks like choosing water over soda. It looks like showing up when nobody's watching. It looks like doing the right thing when it's not convenient. Those are your micro wins, and they matter more than you think. Every time you do something that aligns with your goals, even if it's tiny, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. You're not just building a habit, you're building identity. You're becoming someone who follows through, someone who doesn't quit, someone who shows up even when it's hard. And when you stack those wins day after day, you start to believe in yourself again. That belief, that's where your power lives. You stop needing external validation. You stop waiting for permission. You realize, I can do this. I am doing this. And that's how you build unshakable confidence. Not from hype, not from fake positivity, but from evidence. From proof, from doing the hard thing and knowing you did it. You don't need to run a marathon to feel accomplished. You just need to lace up your shoes and walk around the block. You don't need to write a book tonight. You just need to sit down and write 200 words. You don't need to overhaul your diet this week. You just need to make one healthier choice today, one win, then another, Those wins compound. They create momentum. And momentum is magic. It turns effort into ease. It turns resistance into routine. It makes discipline feel natural, like something you just do now. And let me tell you something else. Your brain loves to win. It thrives on progress. Even the smallest step forward triggers a hit of dopamine, a feel-good chemical that tells your brain, yes, this matters. Do it again. That's why micro wins aren't just motivational. They're neurological. They train your brain to stay in the game. They keep your energy high. They keep you focused on what's possible instead of what's missing. But here's where most people mess up. They discount the small stuff. They think it's just a 5-minute workout. What's the point? Or it's just 1 page of reading. That won't change anything. And so they do nothing. But here's the reality. If you do nothing because it feels small, you'll never do anything at all. The people who succeed, they're the ones who understand that small steps, taken consistently, will always beat big intentions that go nowhere. So let's flip the script. Let's stop waiting for the perfect moment. Let's stop looking for the big win. Instead, make your mission to collect micro wins. Make it a game. Can you stack up 5 wins today? 10? Maybe your first win is getting out of bed when your alarm goes off. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water before coffee. Maybe it's sending that one email you've been putting off. Every win counts. And when you go to bed at night, take a moment and acknowledge them. Remind yourself, I showed up today. I did what I said I would do. That reflection locks it in. It trains your brain to associate action with progress, even if the step was small. When your actions align with your values, your energy increases. When you do things that light you up, even for a few minutes a day, your entire state shifts. You remember who you are. You reconnect with your purpose. And purpose is the ultimate energy source. It fuels resilience. It makes hard things worth doing. So no, you don't need more time. You need more energy, and you can create it. You create it with habits, with boundaries, with awareness, with rest, with alignment. And once you learn to protect your energy and direct it with intention, your productivity goes up, your stress goes down, and your life starts to feel more like yours again. In the next 30 days, make your energy your top priority. Not your schedule, not your to-do list, your energy. Because when your energy is strong, you're strong. And when you're strong, there's nothing you can't handle. If you want to change your life, you need to change what you feed your mind. Because what you consume, every word you read, every video you watch, every conversation you have, it all shapes your mindset, your beliefs, and ultimately your actions. Your brain is always listening, always absorbing. And if you're not intentional about what you let in, your mindset will be shaped by noise, negativity, and distraction instead of purpose, focus, and growth. We live in a world where we are constantly bombarded with information. News headlines, social media posts, gossip, advertisements, notifications, all fighting for your attention, all influencing you whether you realize it or not. And most of it, it's not helping you. It's not building you up. It's keeping you stuck, scared, or second-guessing yourself. That's why you need to take full responsibility for your mental diet. You need to protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. When you start filtering what you allow into your mind, everything changes. Your confidence grows, your motivation strengthens. Your ability to stay focused and keep going, even when things get tough, skyrockets. But it doesn't happen by accident. You have to be deliberate. You have to curate what you consume. Just like you wouldn't eat junk food all day and expect to feel great, you can't feed your mind junk and expect to feel clear, motivated, and in control. Start by asking yourself, what am I feeding my mind on a daily basis? Are you starting your morning scrolling through negativity? Are you watching hours of content that does nothing but entertain and distract you? Are you surrounding yourself with people who drain you or lift you? Are you reading, listening, learning, or just reacting? It's not about perfection. It's about intention. Start small. Replace just 10 minutes of scrolling with a podcast that challenges you. Swap one TV show with a book that inspires you. Unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate and follow ones that teach, uplift, or encourage you. These little shifts create a powerful ripple effect. Because here's the truth. Your mind is a garden, and what you plant grows. If you feed it fear, you'll grow doubt. If you feed it gossip, you'll grow judgment, but if you feed it possibility, purpose, and perspective, you'll grow belief, resilience, and courage. One of the most life-changing decisions you can make is to make learning a daily habit. Not once a week, not when you feel like it, daily. Because learning doesn't just expand your knowledge, it expands your self-image. When you learn, you grow. When you grow, you move. You build momentum. You break out of the mental loops that have kept you stuck. And you don't need to read 100 books a year. Start with 1 page a day, 1 video that inspires you, 1 conversation with someone who challenges you to think differently. That's how you feed your mind, 1 choice at a time. The key is consistency, because repetition builds belief. The more you hear something, the more you start to believe. You can't wait until you feel fearless to act. You act, and the fear loses its power. You can't wait until you're 100% sure. You move forward and the path reveals itself. You don't need motivation. You need movement. Motion creates emotion. Start doing and you'll start feeling. In the next 30 days, build the habit of action. Every day, ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that moves me forward? Not what can I plan or research or talk about. What can I do? It could be small. It could be simple. But it's real. It counts, but it's real. Do it before your brain talks you out of it. Do it fast. Don't negotiate. Just move. That one habit, daily action, will separate you from 99% of people. Because while most people wait, you'll be building. While most people hesitate, you'll be learning. While most people hope, you'll be changing. And one day, not long from now, you'll look around and realize your life looks completely different. Not because you wished for it, but because you worked for it. The habit of action isn't just about productivity, it's about power. It's about owning your life. So start now, start small. Just start.